Hello, hello. Happy Monday and welcome back to Ask a Union Student. We get to do this every week and we get to join you for a little bit of time. Anyone watching that's a prospective student or even parents of prospective students, we're here to answer any of the questions you might have about Union College or just college life in general. So I'm Brianne Engelhardt. Sorry, my other computer audio was going. I'm Brianne Engelhardt. I'm the campus visit coordinator here at Union College, and we're so happy that we can have some of our students here. So I'm going to go ahead and let them each introduce themselves. So take it away, guys.
Hi, everybody. My name is Shelby. I'm from Orlando, Florida. I'm a business administration major with emphasis in finance and accounting, and I'm a freshman.
Hi, my name is Keithley Alejandro. I'm in Texas. I am a sophomore and I'm a business administration major.
Hi, I'm Francisco. I'm originally from Wisconsin, and I have a major in computing and photo and video imaging.
Awesome. Well, I'm so glad you guys could join me. I miss seeing you all in person, as I probably say every single week. It's nice to see new faces again or repeats. So what have you guys been enjoying during this time of very much different normal than we're used to?
You know,
Caught you off guard there.
It's just been kind of weird to have so much free time. So I've been like baking, playing music a lot. So it's just been kind of nice to have like some downtime. I always talk about like being so busy I don't have time to do stuff. Well, now I have time. So it's kind of nice in some ways.
Good.
I think for me, it's been being able to like make your own schedule in a way. Like you don't have to wake up that early if you don't have a class. Most of my classes have like transitioned to like pre-recording. So if I don't want to watch it, like want to watch at the time I'm supposed to, like I can wake up a little bit later. I can go to sleep much earlier, or I think I've been sleeping a lot more, like going to bed earlier than I used to when I was in college, like in actual college. So yeah, that's been nice for me.
Kind of going off of that, it is definitely nice to finally kind of start implementing your own schedule, being able to do things from home, kind of creating a sense of discipline. It's been pretty great to start finally taking up the third lessons in a third language. So that's been pretty fun.
Wow, taking that time to learn some things. I have enjoyed every once in a while I get a chance and I just go sit outside and work outside, except today I went out there and then noticed that there was hornets or wasps building a nest on my door, like just starting building it. So didn't enjoy that, had to take care of that. But otherwise I really enjoy getting to soak up some of that sunshine. So great things for this new normal, but also a lot of things that we miss. So why don't you guys tell me maybe two things that you miss about being on campus with your friends, with the faculty?
Well, for me, for sure, probably the biggest thing that I miss is just seeing all my friends. It's the most like cliche answer, but it's the biggest thing. And also like a little bit more of a silly one that I recently was like, you know what, it'd be so nice to just be able to like go down to Cooper's and like grab a snack. Like I miss the drinks they have there. They have some really nice stuff, so I miss that too.
Yeah, I miss the people too. I'd have to say, I don't think it's cliche at all. I think what makes Union special is the people. So like, I definitely miss the people and just being able to hang out with friends, being able to chill in your office and in other people's office. I miss that.
I miss the team. First and foremost, I definitely miss the gymnastics team. Hope they're all doing well. And I have to agree with Shelby. I really miss Cooper's. There's like some chips there I can't really find many other places, and it's just I have the cravings.
Oh man, that's great. Have you guys been finding ways to connect with your friends now that you guys aren't living in the same building or close by each other or going to classes together? Have you been getting some FaceTime calls in, hanging out still?
A little bit, but it's different. It's just not the same as being in the same place.
Yeah. I mean, I highly suggest at least doing that, right?
Oh yeah.
Getting that connection there. All right. Well, anyone who's joining us and watching, feel free to send us your questions. Put them in the chat. We're going to answer any questions that you have. And today we're going to kind of focus on things. I mean, feel free to ask us any questions, but we're going to focus on kind of the events on campus, what it's like, not necessarily in the day-to-day, but kind of from major fun event to major fun event. And in turn, that almost turns out to the day-to-day because we have stuff going on almost all the time. So let's start at the beginning of the year. And we have registration day, UConnect, move in. Kind of tell me, what is that like? What was your experience? I know your guys' first semester, first move in, first UConnect was all at different times. But kind of think back to that, what it's like, you know, as a new student and what it's like as a returning student. So Shelby, why don't you kick us off?
All right. I don't have the returning student experience yet because next year will be my first year returning. But yeah, registration day is like the whole first week is a little bit overwhelming because you're just not sure what's going on. It's like kind of scary, but Union made it like so easy and so much less intimidating. I think registration day, moving day was a really fun day. But a lot of it is what you make it to some degree, because there's a lot, the vast majority of registration items can be done online ahead of time before you even get on campus or anything. And I would really recommend that because if you have so much to do on the one day or a couple of days really, it can get kind of stressful, especially if you realize you don't have an important document you need or something like that. So I just really recommend you get as much done as possible before even arriving on campus, because that can just make everything go a little bit more smoothly. And everyone on campus, all the staff are really helpful and are happy to help you with whatever you need. But yeah, it just makes your own life a lot easier if you can do that. But you'll be fine, you know, if you don't have the opportunity to get certain things done. Yeah, so, and then move in was, I was worried about that because I did know that the girls' dorm doesn't have an elevator, but it really was not nearly as bad as I expected. There were tons of people there to help, and they even like open up this area right behind the dorm and right near doors where you can park and unload. And yeah, it was done way quicker than I expected.
That's awesome. Francisco, what was your experience like when you were either, you know, what is it like every time you're returning, or as a new student, what did you kind of go through and experience?
Well, every returning that I've had has been the same, and that's how it's been very different from my first move-in day. Yeah, registration comes back, show up, meet up with SFS, meet up with different offices, make sure everything was all cleared, and then move like a box or two or some stuff I took with me for over the summer. And it's basically a breeze. But thinking back to when I first came here three years ago, it was crazy. Trying to figure out where I was staying, figuring out which dorm I was in, because I, for some reason, didn't understand Prescott Culver, which building was which at the time, even though I did take a tour here. Making sure that everything is settled down, because there were some documents that I was missing, and making sure my parents were all signed for different things. I just remember it being crazy and being very stressful before, like the week back when it was a week long, UConnect, or it was something else at the time. But yeah, it was really crazy the first time, but it gets immensely easier every year after that.
It's an exciting time, even your first time, but yeah, there's a lot going on and a lot to do. You said that you just take a few things that you took home for the summer. Are you guys able to keep things in your dorm room throughout the summer from year to year, or do you have to take everything home and bring it all back the next year?
Oh, I got it pretty easy because my sister lived off campus, so I was able to just move my stuff over. But yes, you do have to clear the dorm over the summer.
Okay.
So, you know, people get together and they pool in for storage unit here. A couple of my friends did that, where there's 3 of them to a single unit. They all collectively paid for over the summer, or kind of like I did. They find someone who they knew, they live off campus, kind of keep their stuff there for a while. But yeah, the dorm has to be cleared at the end of every year.
Okay, that's good to know. Keithley, what was your experience like? Tell me about that.
So honestly, it was kind of wild. No, actually it was like last year, but for some reason it's not like I don't remember everything, like all specifics, but I felt like it ran really smooth for me. Like everything laid out perfectly. Like the time slots, they give you enough time to move in and then to like the next thing. It's not like you're on a schedule. I think what helped a lot was I had most of my registration steps that I could get off of campus done before I got onto campus. And there was only like 3 I had to do on campus. So definitely that makes it so much smoother. So do those if you're interested in coming to Union, because it literally saves you so much time. And then the whole entire like registration, like UConnect week, it ran really well for me. I think Union does well at pushing you a little bit out of your comfort zone, because they do pair you up with a couple people to like help you get to know Union a little bit more, help you to get to know people from different places. And so like they split you up in like different groups. And I don't even know how they manage this, because it's not based on like interest, it's just based on like randomness, I think. I don't know. But it was honestly really well. I met some of my really good friends there. And I had really cool peer mentors. I became really close with one of them that like occasionally he'll still like check up on me and like, hey, just making sure you're still okay, how are finals going, how are like tests going, how's everything going. And so like it's pretty cool. I like how they're able to like still take people who are already returning and like help you, mentor you through like your first couple days of college.
Okay, cool. So I want to talk about 2 points in there. You guys have all talked about your registration checklist and getting that done before you get on campus. I think that's something that the faculty and staff also want to always emphasize and advise, because we still have a bunch of students who won't get it done before coming on campus, and that's okay. But it does make your life a lot easier, and we work really hard to make sure that almost everything for every student's circumstances are a little bit different, but that they can complete it before they even step foot on campus, just to eliminate that headache, so that you can come in and just focus on moving in and getting settled, especially if it's your first year in college. That can be huge. So how do you get to your checklist? Well, first you have to submit your confirmation deposit that you are wanting to attend Union College, and then that opens up all those resources for you through your portal to be able to complete those checklist steps. And then you guys also talked about a little bit, Keithley went a little bit more in depth on it, about peer mentors. What is that? How does that kind of play into this? And just kind of tell me a little bit more about those.
Yeah, so I can speak to that a little bit, because I'm actually going to be a peer mentor for this upcoming year. So we basically are there to answer questions, facilitate like the groups of the incoming freshmen. So yeah, basically just to be there to answer questions, make sure everything's going smoothly and you have everything you need. And one thing that I will say is that with UConnect, it's for you. If you're planning on coming to Union, it's for you. So we really care about you having a good experience with that. And with my year that just came in this past year, they asked for our feedback, and there have actually been some changes made to the UConnect week based on the feedback that we gave them. So yeah, like it's really meant to make your experience at Union the best it can be. So, and in your first week there and really getting settled in. So
yeah, so we had a question come in about how long orientation is and when it would start this fall. And we've answered that with it starts on August 20th. I do know that based on those suggestions, they have been shortening the orientation week and pushing it more towards a weekend so that your parents can come and experience that with you. So you're not expected to come here and figure out registration, figure out moving in, everything without your parents. You are welcome to do that, but if your parents can join you, we welcome them. And there's actually a really special ceremony at the end of every UConnect. It's probably maybe been a little bit different from year to year. So I don't know if you guys all had this experience, but I know, Shelby, you would have just had this experience this last time. Tell me kind of how we end the segment with our parents and kind of step then into that college life experience, saying goodbye to mom and dad.
Yeah, so that I thought that was really cool. We basically, the last day of like official orientation, they have kind of a chapel ceremony type thing over at the church, which is really nice. Then everybody like gets in a circle. All the returning students and faculty and staff, like, and parents all surround us in the circle and like pray over everybody. And then we all went out in front of the clock tower with these balloons. They are biodegradable, by the way, so it's not polluting anything. And you basically, like, everybody on the count of 3 like releases them, and it's really pretty. It kind of sounds like a little bit cheesy to describe it, but it's really cool, I promise. And so that's basically like the parent goodbye ceremony. Is kind of like letting your hopes and dreams fly out, but also like the parents, their time to kind of say like, okay, letting go of just a time to kind of let go of that, which is really nice. Especially, not gonna say anything about my own parents, but if you have more like clingy parents, it is a time where it's like, okay, this is the point where it's like, I'm on my own now. So it is nice that it kind of creates that like point where it's the parents' time to head out, so you don't have to tell them yourself like, okay, you got to go.
Yeah, that's super great. I know when you say it, it might sound a little bit cheesy to some people, but it's actually one of our most like highly rated events of UConnect. Like, parents and students love it. And who doesn't love some releasing of balloons? Even all the kids at heart, come on, we love that. And them being biodegradable, nothing to worry about there. So that's super awesome. All right, let's jump a little bit into the school year then. So a weekly event we have, and we have a couple of them, but I want to first talk about family worship. What is that? Is it required? What happens? Kind of tell me about that. Francisco, why don't you start?
I know we touched on it a little bit last week, but family worship is a way we can start off our weekend. Come Friday night, there is a sundown service. Play music, either have a guest speaker, or every now and then the students put it together, and it's kind of a way to kind of bring in the Sabbath with our famous tradition of lighting the Sabbath candle. We didn't catch all that on our previous streams, but as we said previously, that's probably the one we recommend the most going to, because it just feels like something different. You know, school's done, classes are done, you're done with work, and now I can kind of bring in the Sabbath with something that really feels special.
So Keithley, is this the only thing that happens Friday night, or tell me a little bit about what else is going on campus or even off campus, some fog rolls there.
Yes. So after family worship, we have Afterglow, which is just like a little get together of like those who want to, and they change it up. The committee who runs it, they change it up every week. Like, sometimes they have like hot chocolate depending on the weather, get donuts. We've had popsicles. And there's like music playing, or sometimes there's even live music at the end. So it's just a little bit like another worship type of thing, but it's your option. It's optional. My goodness, I can't talk today. But yes, it's optional, but it's a lot of fun. You can go and chill out with friends and just feel closer to God too. And after that, there's also something that we do, and that's really special, and that a lot of us like, and it's depending on if Kathy's there. But basically, one of our, is he a chaplain? I believe so. Assistant chaplains, his name is Bill Fogg. At his house, his wife makes bomb cinnamon rolls. Like, they are so good. And so we can go chill out over there, do more worship, more singing, because we love singing at Union. So that's a great way to get to like know other people that you usually don't talk to, or just hang out with friends. It's a lot of fun. I like going every time he has it. And there's another thing that came up this year, which Shelby knows a little bit more about, because she she plays a lot in it. It's oh, what's it called? Help me out.
The Gathering.
Yes, there you go. It's a gathering, and that's once a month. And oh my goodness, I literally tried to go every single time. I hate missing it because it's so much fun. There's food all the time. We always have food, but there's food, but the music, it just, oh, it's so good. So definitely, you don't have to go, but I would totally recommend going to these.
And where does the gathering happen?
So it's actually not something that it's part of campus ministries necessarily. It's technically part of the young adult ministry at the church. So you can sign up through the church's website to like get text updates about when events happen. So that'll let you know the address if you're signed up for those. Also through Instagram stories, you can DM them and they'll let you know. So yeah.
That's awesome.
It's kind of the same thing with Afterglow as well. That changes location, and you can find out about that on U Groups, or if you're at Family Worship, they announce it at the end. It can be kind of fun, like to have it at different locations. Like sometimes there's a bonfire outside. One time we did it in the IRR building, got to like play a game hanging upside down from the harnesses in their rope room. So it can be really fun.
Awesome. Okay, well, thanks for telling me about that, guys. Also, every week on Thursdays, we have a community event that just kind of allows us to come together and see how large our campus is. Because although we are a small campus, you still forget just how large 800 people or plus when we had faculty and staff are in a room. So tell me a little bit about You Gather, what that is, kind of some of the speakers that we've had come in, who your favorites were. So tell me about that.
All right, I can start. So You Gather, basically, it's just, like you said, it's time for everybody to all be together in the same room. So they use that for announcements just because it's like convenient. Everybody's there. You can communicate that information to everybody. There's also always prayer, usually music. And then, yeah, some of the guest speakers we've had, I believe she was a senator for Nebraska, but correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, we've had like some of the leadership in the Kansas-Nebraska Conference and at the union, Mid-America Union level as well. Some former students. Those are actually some of my favorites when we have alumni come back. They, and like summer camp directors have had speak. Yeah, so it's all less than an hour too, so it's not even like inconvenient.
Did anyone else have a favorite speaker that came in, Francisco or Keithley?
I'm trying to think. Did Allen Chapel's pastor preach at a You Gather or Family Worship? What was You Gather?
Both.
Both.
Yeah.
Well, he has been my favorite for You Gather. Pastor Lariveau,
I think.
Lariveau. Pastor Lariveau from Allen Chapel is a phenomenal speaker, and he is by far my favorite.
Keithley, do you have one?
Yeah, there was a lady that came from Advent Health, and I liked hers a lot.
Awesome. Yeah, I like I'm doing so bad about names, but the person who came that did the sharks talk and about taking care of our planet, she was awesome. I should have looked that up because I knew I was asking this question, but I didn't. All right, so we, emphasize that family experience. We've talked about that, I think, in almost every live stream we've had, and that kind of is connecting you guys to our faculty and our staff on campus. So they do something pretty special every year, and they have you over to their homes, and some of them do it more often than just once a year, but they're soup suppers that are happening in faculty staff homes. Have you guys been to those? Tell me about how that's been for you.
I'll start off. Okay, so being part of the gymnastics team, we have our own soup supper, and sadly we didn't have it this year. I think some things came up and it wasn't able to happen, but it's a lot of fun. You get to get closer to your team and all this stuff. But I also got the privilege of going this year to the nursing one. my friend kind of dragged me there, and I was like, okay, let's do it. And it was a lot of fun. I got to talk to some people I had never talked to before and get to know people. The food was amazing, and there's like a small devotional that I thought was very empowering. So I liked it a lot.
Francisco, how's your experience been with those? Oh man, I always call out the wrong person right as someone else starts speaking.
Shelby can go ahead.
All right. Yeah, I think it's really fun, and I think it's really cool that the faculty would just have us into their homes like that. And it's not necessarily soup. I will say we had haystacks at mine, but I think it kind of depends on whose house you're at. But yeah, it was just a great opportunity since it happened pretty early in my first semester, to kind of just get to know the professors and get to know the other people in my academic division better. So I really enjoyed it.
All right. I'm going to jump to the next one. Kind of tell me a little bit about what Harvey's Harvest is. Now, this is something that happens every single year in the fall, I believe. So why don't you guys tell me a little bit about your experience at Harvey's Harvest and what that is?
I can go ahead with this one. Harvey's Harvest has always been kind of like a very special kind of family worship. It's hosted outside someplace. I think these last 1 or 2 years has been outside here in the clock tower. But in years past, it's been at someone's home, kind of outside, and it kind of adds a whole like family atmosphere because you're outside, you're coming together, kind of sitting on blankets, hearing amazing music, and hearing someone help kind of bring in the start of the semester because it's fairly early before the time change affects us too bad. But it's definitely one of my favorite events that we have regarding from campus ministries because it definitely feels like something special.
Keithley, have you been to one of the Harvey Harvests?
I have not. I think I had another event. Yeah, I know. I think I had another event that I had to go to during that time, so I was unable to go. I'm kind of sad about it.
You're going to have to make it to the next year's.
I'll
So
try.
it's always out unless we get rained out because we did before. We will have a couple family worships outside underneath the clock tower, but this one's always at Harvey's house. So that's the family out of town that always is willing to host us, and it's super nice. Get a chance to eat together, be outside, bonfire, s'mores. Who doesn't love
And they
s'mores?
cater Chipotle, so it's good food.
All right. Tell me a little bit about World Cup. What is World Cup? That's something that I know is pretty standard, is going to happen every single year. It's one of our events. So tell me about that. And if you've played in it.
Okay, so I can start. It's something that our international club hosts, and they have food from a lot of different places. They have two major events. They have World Pageant and World Cup. Sadly, this year they scheduled for World Cup right on Acrofest. So I wasn't able to go to this one, but I went to last year's, and I got dragged into playing because they didn't have enough players. Yep, they didn't have enough players for the Asian team, I think. I don't know, but I got dragged into that one, and I sadly was wearing yellow that day, which was the color. And so I got dragged into playing, but honestly, it was so much fun. I hadn't played soccer since I was like in 6th grade, so I was trying to like still keep going with that because it was kind of hard, not gonna lie. There's a lot of really good players on other teams, so but it was a lot of fun. There's music. We do it in Speedway Village, which is an indoor soccer field, and it was great. I absolutely loved it, and I was really bummed about missing this year's.
Anyone else want to speak to their experience?
It is definitely a really hyped up event. Like people are really into the games, people rooting for different teams, and it kind of feels like you are kind of an actual like sporting event because people are like livened up. And again, there's cater, there's lots of really good food. Occasionally, some music starts playing to kind of like get people pumped, and people have the spirit all that night. It's really intense, and as an introvert, I'm really worn out by the end of the night.
I love the variety of food because they do try and show off several different countries' food there. So good. All right, so why don't you guys tell me a little bit about, and we kind of talked about this in one of our previous live streams, but I want to talk about it again. Tuition Freedom Day. You guys want to tell me about that? That's the one with pizza in the atrium, in case you are forgetting which one.
I have not been to one of those because I was out of town when it happened this past semester, but I like looked at all the pictures. I was like, oh man, I wish I was there. But yeah, I was not there.
Keithley, have you been to one?
Yes, this past one I had to go short briefly because I had a class during the time, so it was like grab food, run to class. But you know, free pizza, free pasta, free pizza from like not just one place, but like a bunch of places around Lincoln. So it's pretty cool to like go to different tables and see what type of pizza they have and how they taste. And it's just a day that we can thank all the people who are like donating money to like help us in our tuition. So I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, so every month, I believe, we have something called Power Pack. What is that? Why does it happen monthly? What is it that happens?
Let's see. So Power Pack is basically what we do instead of having a week of prayer every semester. And basically it's bring in a guest speaker who speaks for You Gather, sometimes another meeting on Thursday night, but then for sure family worship on Friday night and church on Saturday morning. And it's always really great. They always have a great speaker. So it can sound like a lot to hear that many, you know, talks in a row from the same person, but they always have like so much good stuff to say that I really would encourage like people not to like to try to go to all of them if you can. Yeah, so it's really cool. Yeah, so that's one thing that kind of is part of regular family worship, but then another thing, we can circle back for a second to that, is 4 times a semester, instead of a regular family worship, they have concerts. So it's kind of on the same lines. And those are always like really exciting, really cool. This past semester, we had Shane and Shane come out. We also had a cappella group called The Sound, really good. And then before my time, they had some other cool groups, like I think they had like Stars Go Dim and Selah at one point. So get some really cool artists to come out and do really good worship concerts. So those are another cool thing that happens sometimes.
Awesome. All right, well, we're gonna start kind of winding down. So kind of what final question slash I'm gonna give you guys a statement, but you're gonna give a statement, is what do you wish that you could tell someone thinking about coming to Union College? What they should know about making that decision, or just kind of highlighting what is your favorite thing and why you're glad that you came to Union College. So give you a moment to think about that. Speak up when you got it.
I would say getting involved. I think that is the most important thing to do, is definitely getting involved. That's how you get to know people. That's how you get out there, make a name for yourself. And it's a lot more fun when you're involved than when you're not. I think going to all the events that you can, that's what I've been trying to do. And then applying for jobs that get you known, like ambassadors, of jobs that push you to your limit, doing things that like out of your comfort zone. That's been like a huge one for me because actually a really shy person, not the type of person to go talk to someone just randomly, but I've been putting myself in positions where I have to go do that. And honestly, I've seen like confidence in me just like boost. And so definitely putting yourself out there and being confident in what you do.
Yeah, that's really similar to mine. But I would say for sure, like, yeah, if you're considering coming, like, yeah, like I say absolutely do it. But yeah, you're gonna be here. It is a small campus, so you have to really, I mean, not exactly make an effort to get to know people, but yeah, you do. You do have to make an effort, and just really try and come here with like, and be like committed to like being here and bringing your whole self here, and getting to know people, getting involved in stuff. Yeah, just be all in on it.
Francisco, what's your imparting knowledge that you want to give to us?
We kind of touched upon it a little bit last week, but definitely with the smaller campus, great opportunity to be involved in leadership roles and establishing various connections if you're going to events in extracurriculars, going to different events. But other than that, I would say Lincoln itself is just a great place to be. I mean, we're the middle of the town and it's still growing. So there's still plenty of stuff to do, whether you enjoy walks, bike riding, or just want to see random things like the National Roller Skating Museum we have down on 48th. That's pretty new. So I haven't gone yet, but it's on the list.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for spending some time with me and just sharing your experience with any of our prospective students or their parents that are watching this. I can't wait till next time. Again, I'm Brianna Engelhart, Campus Visit Coordinator here. If you want to sign up to visit Union College, we're doing it virtually right now. Sign up at ucollege.edu/visit, and we're going to put you in touch with some of our enrollment counselors, our career advisors, faculty advisors. We're going to get you in touch with the right people so you can experience and find out firsthand if Union College is the right fit for you. So we hope you sign up. Thank you, guys.